All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. NASDAQ futures are still down around 4%. And today was 4%. Absolutely, oh wow, a historic day, okay? It's going to be very volatile tomorrow. After hours, even NKD, man, it's insane what's going on. That's why I'm calm and I don't want to lose my voice. But we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of bad things that have happened. There is a lot of potentially good things, but not too many. But I'm telling you, this is absolutely insane. So we have a lot that we're going to go over, and it is going to be wild, I'm assuming, for the next 48 hours. You should not be unprepared, but we're really about to see a lot of different things potentially, and our work is definitely cut out for us. And thankfully, we got a little cash, baby. We got a little cash. So I hope you guys are ready for all of it. I hope you are locked and loaded. I see, man, I'm trying to save my voice, man. I'm woosah. I don't know. I don't think it will be time to use our deposits. I mean, there's no other way to put this. Today was a historic day. Both good and bad. I mean, here, let me do this. We're gonna go over the White House fact sheet. We're gonna go over the keys. I have a lot to go over, just like yesterday. And again, we even could talk a lot about plays, and you're gonna want to be there tomorrow. I mean, being live has definitely paid off. So I hope I see you there, baby. YouTube.com/the stock market. But this is a very wild joke, but this is the best take that I've seen so far on the market right now. Here it is. Here is what I want you to see. This is after what we just saw today and what we are about to enter. I've seen a lot of smart people give smart-ass remarks, ignoring the trade partners. But then again, the reality is this has been crazy. I've seen a lot of takes. I've seen people pump it. I've seen people be bearish, jump to conclusions on both sides already. And this is the only way this is the best take so far. Here it is. This is Trump's tariff strategy. That's what today feels like. That's what I'm trying to. That's why I have nothing else to explain to you except for this. No, I'm being dead serious. So, believe me, I'm shocked as well. Again, if you weren't there live after the bell, you could watch the recap. It's on this channel. But I'm even telling you, bro, it came out. The base tariff rate was so low, and it was much lower than expected. And everybody was like, what? And it was good. I'm telling you, it was very, very good. And it was like, all right, maybe he is actually going to be nice. And he was. To some places, they got a benefit. Now, and here's the sad part. The places that got a benefit, we don't really trade with them as many. There was only one place that has a very large deficit with us, and they avoided it. And that is Ireland, believe it or not. So Ireland and their role in all of this is very interesting. Again, that even ties to the UK and EU, but when it's all said and done, it started off very good, but then right when he announced tariffs with UK or the EU and China, and he put out that chart, if you were there live, all I saw was the China one, and then the like 30% rate, and then there was the EU right under it, and that was like 20-something, even Taiwan, Cambodia, Vietnam. It was not, dude, this is an insane first shot. So it's a giant springboard, but like we talked about yesterday, we're going to see the first shots. But yeah, this wasn't a small one. I mean, the better way to explain it, over the last coming days and weeks, you've been negotiating really small. So, and again, look at you asked me one simple question, is it time to buy? And it's the same exact thing we were feeling prior. And what I want you guys to all realize, and I hope you're prepared by the end of this video, is that the stakes have been raised. That's all that has happened. So think about all of the tariff talks leading up to today. They were really from a low rate. even the steel tariffs, even the auto tariffs, they were kind of big, like I told you the other day. But when it's all said and done, everything has been from a very low baseline. So it kind of feels like poker. I feel like the first round, everybody put little blind, big blind, Canada, everybody played along. And everything was really small amounts. But now after today, like I'm saying, I'm even surprised in some elements. These are really big numbers. And I think now for the flop, this is a big bet. So we're going to see what happens from here. And we have a lot to talk about. So, Chad, I have all of that. We got plays. We got strategy. We'll see where the futures go from here. I'm telling you, right now, even Asia is already trading. It's not looking too good. It has chilled out, but generally the reaction in currency land, Mexico, they dodged the bullet. Mexico and Canada, that's the other good part. And remember, that's one of our bigger trading partners. Mexico and Canada, we also run big deficits with them. So although a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this is scary, it is. It's big. It's a big amount, but you can't ignore that some of our biggest trading partners, they just averted a large amount of tariffs as well too. So there's a lot of everything. And like I'm saying, the stakes have been raised, and that is definite. But even in currency land right now, not too many moves. The winners are starting to move, and we'll talk about the winners and losers. So I got all of that. I'll see you on stream tomorrow. I think even the open is going to be crazy, but you're here right now, baby. What's going on? Thank you, Benny Silverio. Thank you, my friend. God bless you, bro. What up, Calv? What up, David? Good evening, Truth. Clean. Brian Fierro's happy birthday, Tim Whitman. Oh, what a birthday, Tim Whitman. Now everybody will remember your birthday. They'll never forget your birthday, Tim Whitman. Let's go, baby. What up, Puplo? Randall, Dylan, Patrick, Chibs there. What up, baby? What up, Cam? How you doing, Justin? Good evening, Jeffrey. Good evening, Phenom. What up, Rody? Rosero, Eames, Daniel, C-Rod, Truth, baby. What up, Kyle? What up, Jamar? Johnny B. Good. What's going on, baby? Mr. Malone, Mr. Exodius, Kevin, Hanny. Oh, what up? Oh, y'all turning out today, huh? Y'all ready to go today, huh? So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I'm telling you, this was a wild one, bro. This is not, like I'm saying, the stakes have been raised. Do not underplay this. Do not overplay this. It's the same game, but now we're just playing with more. Do you understand? So that's good and bad, because that could eat people up alive. It's the same game, but emotions will run high. I really hope you guys get that, because if you don't get anything by the end of this, I think that will explain at the very least this month. But then again, we still have the caveat with the non-farms on Friday, and people are looking for that to lead. So that being said, baby, lock in. I hope you're having a great evening. It's wonderful to see you all, baby. And I better see you in the morning, because, I don't know, man. This is still just the beginning. That's unfortunately, it wasn't your clearing event, but we'll see where it leads us. But now, look at this, bro. This is coming from me. Blah, blah, blah. From Josh Answers. Isn't that funny? But at the end of the day, today was very vague. Okay? So make no mistake. Like I'm telling you, these numbers are no joke when it's all said and done. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. He ended that event within the hour. By the time I was done with it, like I'm saying, I know by the end of this, almost immediately, China and Europe, they got the losing end of the stick. This was very direct towards them. They are the ones who will be paying the most. Again, Canada and Mexico. You've heard a lot about them, but at the end of the day, you are getting them averting a lot of these tariffs. That's a good thing. When you balance out the total tariff amounts, that's a good thing. That don't, again, U.S. relations, but for now, that's a very positive thing. It seems like this today was just to go after China and to go after Europe. So Let me throw one cherry on top. Are you ready? Do you guys remember I was telling you how China was going to wait for Donald Trump to really come after them before they do stimulus? Yeah. So now keep that in mind, because this was This was all about attacking China today. That's what I'm saying. China and EU, I would have taken that personally. If I was EU or China, I'm telling you that this is a very wicked amount. That's what I'm saying. Undeniably, the amount that was issued today, whatever the calculation or not, like I'm saying, you get into the nitty gritty. We'll talk about some of the outliers, but at the end of the day, EU and China, that right there, that is a very, very high starting point. And they're the ones who got the losing end of today. Everything else is to be determined. Like I'm telling you, there was still a lot. We're going to see the responses. He did say they're avoiding the sectorals. He pretty much said that's not included, but that doesn't mean he's not going to do it. You see what I'm saying? It just wasn't included. So that could be good or bad. And like I'm saying, there's a lot of these little factors where we learned some things, but there is still a lot left in the air. But when you look at these numbers, the shock value, he did what he said he was going to do. This wasn't a game. The numbers are ridiculous, but he did what he said he was going to do. And now we got to get to that next step. But for now, EU and China, there's still a lot of questions. But like I'm saying here, yeah, there's a lot of questions. Some effects are immediate. EU and China got hit immediately. Everybody else is there. And again, we got to talk about Southeast Asia. But when it's all said and done, this uncertainty just isn't good. There's good and bad. A lot more bad than good came out of today. But when it's all said and done, uncertainty right now is just overall negative. So the only good thing that could come from this is that everybody drops their rates at this point. And or literally the only good thing now is that you're just going to hear market headlines about negotiating lower rates. That's it. That's the only silver lining of all of this. Otherwise, I'm telling you, this all generally, it's shocking and it is negative. And although you can find some good things or some things are not answered, dude, you already had wicked uncertainty. And now these numbers and this high starting rate, this is, it hit in some areas. Like I'm saying, the base tariff rate, that was very low. But your big, your dirty 15, some of these trading partners, they might be, kind of in blocks. This was a warning shot at minimum, or maybe this was the shot that was heard around the world. Donald Trump is coming. Donald Trump, no. The tariffs are coming. Paul Revere, no. Nobody? Okay. Anyways, that being said, blanket tariffs lower, some tariffs way larger than anything historically. The average rate is going to be flawed because of the outliers. So here's the deal. This is why I'm saying my mind is blown, because to a degree, this chart that they were trying to freak you out with, when they're like, yeah, this will be the highest tariff rate since the 1800s. No, but you are highest since 1929. That I cannot deny. But like I'm saying, there is some outliers in terms of this is an average trading weight. This is not based upon trade-weighted volume, meaning you could have a high rate, but we don't necessarily trade with all these people. But again, you cannot deny the people that really were targeted, and now Vietnam, Malaysia, all of Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Japan even, they got the better deal, but all of these places, it's really bad for them, and we do trade a lot with them. So you are pretty much right around here on average. I think it's flawed, but like I'm telling you, it's still not pretty. I don't think you can't put lipstick on this at all. It's bad in that sense. It's very high historically. Like I'm telling you, it's a very, very strong starting point in terms of negotiations and where we go from here. So you got to keep that in mind, and we're going to talk about this a lot over the next coming days. But now, what I am expecting, are you ready for this? I think it is going to be bad. Futures are down, But ironically enough, I don't think this was bad enough. I know I'm wicked. You're going to think I'm insane, but it was worse than expected. Okay? Like, at the end of the day, the blended rate, you know how I was saying combinations? You could look at all the combinations, but I think nobody really expected this. This wasn't forecasted, but although some things are good and there's still a lot of questions, things can be better, and those will be your upside catalyst in the future. For now, the net negative of this is very strong, okay? So that's something that you got to think about, because when I'm looking at this, bro, it was worse than people were expecting. You're going to deal with that a little bit, but I think you're going to have a little bit left for the non-farms. So what I'm trying to say is that uncertainty is going to be elevated from here. You're going to start getting different updates, but I do think the market is going to trade very choppy, and we're going to kind of trade between some of these events. But I think the next 48 hours are going to be extremely volatile. All the way up till Friday, a lot of people will be surprised. There will be shocking moves, but hear me out. Because, yeah, you might think I'm employed by Donald Trump, but one day you'll realize nobody likes me. You have to realize that. You guys will see that one day. That's why I love Jesus, you know? He's the only one who accepted me. Nobody else is down with Josh Answers, bro. So I appreciate you, my brothers. That's it. You guys are like, me too. It's because you're my brother. We're family. That's just how it is. And you know what they say, blood make you related. Yeah, they don't feel me, bro. They don't. My long story short, don't get caught up lost in the sauce. You know, I do want you to have the most accurate view, and I want you prepared. Our objective is make the money, build the equity. But here's the deal. I don't work for anybody. I don't think this is as bad yet, and we got to wait and play in between the events. But I'm going to just tell you right now, I am expecting it more so for now. It's going to turn into a rotation after you get your little everything sells off. And then you're going to rotate into winners and losers. Make no mistake, there will be some stocks that are going to start going up off of this. You get what I'm saying? Again, Mexico, Canada, they just emerged a winner for now. We'll hear about the negotiations. Australia said they won't retaliate. Netherlands said they won't retaliate. Again, that right there is one area of winners. We're going to hear from von der Leyen in the morning. Let's see what they do, right? Canada, yeah, Ford said he's not going to retaliate. So you're getting all these different factors, but like I'm saying, even the stocks, even automakers, but you're going to start getting winners and losers, and that is what I would start really thinking about. Will everything get exposed for a little bit? Yes. Will people start talking recession, hard landing? Maybe they'll tell you about demand destruction like we talked about, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's going to go to winners and losers. That's why, bro, like Nike is a big loser in all of this. You guys, a lot of people don't realize this. I saw a tweet. Some guy was like, Donald Trump is so stupid. Donald Trump, Tariff, Indonesia, coffee. We have compare advantage coffee. Why he do that? So stupid, Trump. No, that's not really what happened. What really happened is that Trump targeted all of Southeast Asia. That is not a coincidence. He literally went hard on all, and that's what I'm saying. That's where my mind was blown to a degree. Because, dude, it's actually insane. He went hard on all these different countries, but he went after Asia. And now everywhere you can go in Asia to escape. That's the crazy part. Because over the years, as China and other past trade policies, what were people doing? They were going to Vietnam. They were going to Malaysia. Dude, I have a homeboy in Cambodia right now who literally building factories. That's what they've been doing. People have already moved to all of these places in Southeast Asia. So do you see what's happening now? now there's no out. There's no escape from it. This is now, that's why I'm saying he raised the stakes. It's a ridiculous number to offer for all of these starting points are really aggressive, but he's not going after this and that. I think this is just the initial message of, yeah, bro, there's no way around this. And that's why I'm saying, though, some people are going to win more than others. But like Nike, any of these people that try to move to even India or even move to, again, Vietnam especially, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, those are very prime places that people have gone to. Those places are going to start getting clapped now. And anybody who is not having to rely on that, they're going to become a winner. So I think it's a very fascinating thing, but like I'm saying, this is very complex. There's still a lot, but make no mistake, this was a very broad, this was insane. Like I'm telling you, and it was a very, very big message that was sent out to the whole entire world. Again, it's just the chips are high now. That's it. You have to call, like I'm telling you, if this was a game of poker, before the first 3 cards came out on the table, the bets were relatively small. We weren't really betting that much. If you really think about it, yeah, everyone's going on TV crying about Donald Trump. Oh, steal. Remember, I was telling you, I was like, dude, these amounts are tiny. There's no point to freak out. But now this is where now is it okay, all in. That's literally what he did. So imagine, I don't know if you've ever played poker, but what would you do if you were at a poker table, right? Everybody's at the table. Everyone calls, little blind, big blind, and then there's just no bets. Everybody bets the minimum, right? All the way around. Everybody bets the minimum. And then the flop comes out, all 3 cards. And then this fucking orange-haired dude fucking all in, and then just goes all in. Now what do you do? That's what just happened. The first bet wasn't big. That's why I was like, you guys are insane. I said, people are being ridiculous, reacting how they are. So you guys are fucking childish. Nobody bet anything. But now, he just all in. All in. Nope, yep, I call it all in. Yep, all of it. How many? Count how many chips does he have? Count how many he has. Yeah, that one right there, in Asia. How many does he have? Yep, all in, that many. Call. All in. And that's where I'm like, okay, that's your problem right now. So that's it. Everybody either folds, or now if everybody calls, like I'm telling you, it's going to be the same exact game that you have already been playing, but now the wagers are way higher. Now you know the numbers and details. Like I'm telling you, go ahead. Everybody reacting ahead of time, I don't think that was warranted. But now you know very big winners and losers, and then whoever takes the next steps from here, we're really going to see. Like I'm saying, it could be a full-blown trade war if everybody wants to call, or some people might fold. And like I'm telling you, Canada and Mexico is already out of the equation for now. That's great. And that's what I'm saying. You got to be fair, because that's one of those things where, hold on, that's a lot of money. Don't tell me, again, Asia, literally European Union, China, those are our other biggest deficits. And then all those little Southeast Asian countries, that's literally where our deficits come from. But if we could get Ireland and a couple of these other places, and then now Mexico and Canada, you don't have everybody against you, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. So there was a lot that you could pick apart from this, but long story short, man, all of this, and what I'm trying to tell you, though, is you're going to get winners and losers. And I think that's how the market's going to develop. We're going to get chop. We're going to get volatility. But when it's all said and done, at one point, and while you're freaking out, everyone's going to slowly start freaking out. The names that are heavily impacted, like Nike, they're going to stay down. And then a lot of other names are going to get relief. And you're going to start to notice that. You should be well-versed in rotations thus far. So it doesn't mean that you won't get a risk-off event where everything gets drawn down. But like I'm saying, until we get more escalation and see how people call this or not. For now, though, I'm looking for this to develop into a rotational winner-loser situation. So we'll see what happens, but those are all the keys. And now, Chattadonia, let us get into the plays. So, UVXY, baby. I double-dipped. This was literally my last stream alert of the day because I had a lot of calls. We hit a lot of plays today, man. The rumors were hot, bro, and we were hitting core weave 1,000% from yesterday. It was good, man. And what I did is I had calls, and I was liking them, and I liked what I had. But even towards the end of the day, I decided to hold the straddle. So that was calls and puts on the QQQ. But that play, literally, you make money if you get a large directional move. So I'm in the money right now if we hold, but that's going to work out. But towards the end of the day, I noticed that I was like, I got a decent amount of calls. I've already taken profit. I made a lot of stuff free, but I was like, that's a decent amount of calls. I bought TLT, and we're going to talk about that. But then UVXY, at some point today, end of the day, it literally came back to like the first day after our entry. So I got back into it, have those, holding those coming into tomorrow. Those are going to hit probably. But now what I want you guys to realize is the morning move. This is where things are going to get weird, okay? You have to hear me out right now. If you have any other plays, if you have UVXY, QQQ puts, TLT, those are going to be good even if you gap down and then it runs up for a little bit. Those are going to be easy because they'll be green. What you got to think about is your calls that are probably going to get washed tomorrow. Right in the morning, they're going to have a lot more value than 10 minutes out of the bell, believe it or not. And here's the deal. Some calls are going to get wiped, and you will regret selling them in the morning. But generally, if you get rid of some of the calls, you could save a little bit of money before everything gets washed and then double dip if we start to see a bounce coming. Again, that's what we did with even UVXY. We came back into it. Again, that was the last play of the day. But I want you to realize that sell some, hold some, but tomorrow is going to be emotionally taxing. I don't know if y'all feel me. So I'm telling you right now, because you're going to have to handle your put plays that are doing good. But then your other problem is, like, again, we had Amazon today. That was a 500, 1,000%er. That was a great play. So everything we're holding is free. But again, that still has value. So like I'm saying, in the morning, that's going to have more value. And then again, if we get a flush and bounce, that play may come back to life. Or if they announce the TikTok thing, you may regret it. So what I'm just trying to tell you is decide which ones you really like or not and which you prioritize. But generally, off the morning, if you just wipe out the calls, take your profit, will some of them bounce back? Yes. Otherwise, you could save some money there. But this whole decision is going to be very difficult. I'm telling you. Because this is what I meant by the market's going to get hard. Because there's going to be a lot of volatile moves. We'll be down, we'll be up, we'll be down, we'll be up. And then you're going to be like, oh, I should have held this one. I should have been that. It's really going to be, you have to pick the right one. So be careful with that, but start thinking about that now. Come into tomorrow morning with an idea of what you want to hold, what you're going to sell. Do you think it's in your best interest to sell, salvage call plays, or are you going to try to hold? And then again, you also got to think too, a lot of people are anticipating cash open. You guys got to watch out, because if you got a bunch of puts, the worst thing you want to see is what you saw this morning. Because like I'm telling you, I'm in the money on the QQQ, but if we open up and then it bounces up fucking 0.5%, you're going to lose half of that money right away. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be very hard tomorrow. And that's something that believe me, it's one thing to get the play, and we have plays that are going to be there, but that's not going to, I'm telling you right now, there will be a wide gap in the profit just depending on how you execute tomorrow. Make no mistake. And that is going to be the problem. I think Besant right now, Besant says he advises other countries not to retaliate to U.S. to avoid tariffs. And Hyundai has no plans to raise their car prices in the U.S. Nice. Okay? So, okay. It's going to be difficult, man. You know what I'm saying? Baba popping. Oh, yeah, we're going to get a lot of moves in between. But NASDAQ, Hong Kong isn't moving. So I hope you guys are ready for that. That's play number 1. Play number 2, TLT. This was my other play. So I bought this on my first straddle. Then I sold the other straddle and kept this. But TLT, I double dipped. I sold in the morning. I had old TLTs. It gapped up this morning. Right at the bell, I sold. I took 50% gain. And then by the end of the day here, those calls were down fucking 60%. They were cheaper than before. So I actually got the same exact play for cheaper. I got to just make 50%, and then I bought way more. And I was like, that's going to be my volatility hedge play to a degree because there's a lot of room on the bonds. Here's the deal. Right now, the bonds, they are reacting to the fear. Rate cut odds are even reacting to these tariffs right now. But you got to realize yields are still generally high. And that's because the data and Powell and everybody else, you've literally have stagflation fears. You know what I'm saying? It's actually insane. And that's what's keeping the yields or TLT down to a degree. But if you really get fear taking over, if we get retaliations, if we get a real trade war, if this turns really sour, I think there's still a lot of upside on TLT. Just go compare it to the daily chart. But like I'm saying, if you don't have real max fear, then with the data, it will be limited. So make no mistake. I'm not telling you this is it just yet, because if the data is stagflationary, that's actually going to make TLT almost a death trap to some degree. So be careful. We're going to see how that plays out. But tomorrow, if you notice fear kicking in, negotiation headlines, I would watch TLT and then even UVXY and all those other plays in the straddles. If you're on stream, listen for the straddles or again, pay attention to the last couple watch lists because those have been hitting. That's what I'm holding into one of these coming into tomorrow. But that's play number 2. And then finally, are you ready for this? Like the video. I haven't asked you for a like in a while. I just made you pay $4.99. Sorry. I am. I really am, bro. But I love you. But, we got to do what we got to do. But I have a big one for you. I got a great one for you. I'm going to make you laugh with this play. You know why? It's a good play. It's a good play because when I tell you this, a light bulb is going to go off, okay? You're going to instantly, a light bulb, you're going to be like, why didn't I think of that? And then even when you ask your AI is going to reluctantly agree. I'm going to make it elementary and simple, but this is a really good idea, and this is what I mean. This is all to the theme of winners and losers, okay? Are you ready for this one? Thank you for being here on this lovely evening. Don't limit the time, but just pay attention for this over the next days and weeks, okay? Oh, no, it's not do nothing. I'm giving you something actionable, bro. KRE and XLF. The banks. Why the F would you sell a bank? They are not getting tariffed. Like I said, this is the funny way to put it, but these banks have indirect effects from tariffs. And yeah, maybe financial services or the fear of foreign default will come up. Yeah, or demand destruction, but all of those are indirect. Like, you see what I'm saying? Those are the ripples, like far down the pond. Meanwhile, think about it. China, Europe, immediately bad, right? Go look at the Nike, the Vietnam, the countries that are really impacted, immediate. And then again, even some of you guys, consumers, it's going to have an interesting time to hit you. But before it hits the banks, that's a long, long ripple. I already have KRE plays, so I'm biased. But like I'm saying, you could challenge this idea, but generally, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's that you can, again, they can get affected. I'm not saying it's immune, but it's further down the pond. Some banks may have more foreign risk than not. Or again, you could get impacted by financial services, or maybe Trump wants to tariff financial services. But until then, I actually see the banks as the winners. Again, with interest, and then even Europe and other countries, but they don't really, again, if at the very least, I don't think they're going to get hit by the immediate effect. And you guys said something genius. Apple. That's the other one. So I don't have it on here. Those are all the plays, but those are the other ones that we need to talk about, because now there are two stocks that will become weapons. Okay? What up, Eric? Apple is number one. Why? Because Apple is how you clap, is how China claps us. That's what they do. They use Apple. They use Huawei. They do all these things. They are the number one target, biggest. They have all the factories. Again, and you got to think about it. Apple been trying to move all around the world, and they go everywhere to fucking assemble a device, but they're the ones, and again, if China, EU, if they want to send a message, they're going to go after Apple. So that is weapon number one, okay? So watch, that means you're going to see outsized attention from policy on Apple, okay? Number two. What do you guys think number two is before I tell you? Let's see. What do you think number two will be? Ooh. Well, NVIDIA is a big one. 17% of revenue is from China. So that's a big, big deal. But in a weird way, it's not NVIDIA. They're already deep-seeked. TSM, unfortunately, that's just part of the Asia pressure campaign. Surprisingly, the answer is Boeing, bro. BA. Now, vehicles are small. We already clapped with the tariffs. You know, our imports are huge. But Boeing. Like I'm telling you, remember, we hit big on that other one a couple weeks ago because I was telling you, if they're going to play this game and try to cut out and change the OG agreements, this is big. But yeah, bro, Boeing, this is what EU and some other places, that this could actually be one of the worst things. I don't want to put this in the universe, but again, if they want to call back, let's say, right, all in, Trump goes all in. If they don't want to cave immediately and want to keep playing and they want to make the higher call, I mean, hypothetically, and I'm not saying, I don't know the probability of this, but what if all of these countries came together and they said we are never buying a Boeing for 10 years minimum? Never. Or we're going to actually now form and do funding for Airbus and then our own joint things like we did in the 70s. That is a real big issue. Again, there's only two plane manufacturers really in the world, Airbus and Boeing. And again, and they're tied historically to very big trade agreements between the United States, Europe, and everybody else. So that's why I'm like, this Boeing might, unfortunately, they might be at the center, so will Apple. I do think you should keep NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is kind of new to the party. You know, Apple and Boeing, you know, this is kind of OG playbook. But then again, NVIDIA is a very, very, very big part of the index. So very, very good point. But Chad, that is all that I have for you. If you have any questions, now the floor is yours. We got time. We could chill here for a little bit. K-Web, you guys said China's popping. Let's see where the futures are at. Down 3.64 on the NASDAQ. NKD down 3.8. Mexican peso down by 1.1. SPY down 2.9. This is nothing. Come on. But yeah, if you have any questions, now is your moment, baby. What do you got for me? The calculations. I did see it, but like I said, I'm not really too concerned with the calculation because I'm telling you, the output is insane. It's bad. It's a huge number. But the part that is kind of concealed, we don't trade equally with everybody. So that's one part. And then the two bigger partners that we run large deficits with, Canada and Mexico, they avoided today. So I don't care about the calculation as much as where it's like, is this where we end? Because long story short, if this is where we end, this was terrible. This is going to be wild. Do you get what I'm saying? If all these tariffs announced never change from today and nothing gets negotiated, I don't care how they're calculated, this would be historically one of the most insane tariffs actually being implemented. And that's why I'm saying it's like you had that right there. It doesn't really matter how it's calculated because it will be the changing of the economy in that sense, and that could disrupt and change a lot of things. So other than that, though, like I'm saying, there is the silver lining is that it shouldn't stay here, and it will go lower, and that's why whatever's calculated now, I'm sure we're going to settle on a final number, and that final number and how that's calculated, that's the calculation you're going to care about, if that makes any sense. I think it does. But, yeah. How do you think Bitcoin? It'll go down, and then it'll go back up. It'll trade like the NASDAQ. It'll eventually do a little better, but global liquidity might be your proxy that you want to watch for that. A Goodreads account? No, I don't. No. Amazon calls? It might be, but not like right away. Or maybe depending on, let's see because sometimes the calls will be expensive still in the morning because the volatility. But I like the idea of hedging kind of with calls and kind of taking advantage of the upside. And that Amazon news was big, bro. And it's still on the table. Like I'm saying, if I said it today, I was like, damn, Trump really wants that TikTok deal because he just now he could really incentivize China because China now has a very insane rate put on them. So now maybe they will do a TikTok deal, but they said that Amazon was in the bidding. So we got the news super early, bro. Within the first minute of that news, I don't even know. Damn, that was after hours. Within the first minute of that news, we caught it. That was like 500 to 1,000% on that play. But it faded, it shot up after the bell, and now we're going to end up lower. I don't know where those plays will be, but that headline is still in play, believe it or not. So that headline, you could still play it, meaning that people are still saying that there's going to be a TikTok announcement here in the future. Do I recommend Bitcoin in the long term or crypto in general? So none of this is a recommendation, but I do like Bitcoin in the long term and only Bitcoin. I don't think now is the best price unless you're going to start super duper small and really average very, very slowly and plan on buying it again in the future. But only Bitcoin. Everything else, it's a tragedy, man. Like, for real. Because there's one thing I don't know. And, like, the sad part is I don't know who's a predator and I don't know who's genuinely getting tricked. And what I mean is that please do not fall in love with some random ass crypto project. I mean this respectfully because I have nothing really to gain from this other than you stay safe. I've actually created more enemies and have more reputation risk if I'm wrong. And I've had, people will hold this call over my head. But just generally, man, do not, your long-term in 10% and putting that there, that's what you want to do because I've seen several people do this. The amount of people recently, it's not just one person, man. And I'm seeing a lot of people do it, and I really, really think that's where you're going to make the mistake because I'm telling you, crypto's great. I love it. And I don't think it's over, and I think you could build it nicely. And if you're, I'm glad you're not scared of it because some people are terrified of it. But at the end of the day, you got to do it the right way, do it appropriately. And I think there will be a time to put Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. But in the meantime, just don't get tricked, dude. Because I see people like, and I know it sounds good and there's all these ideas, but it's just like, that's not where the wealth is going to get built. Usually you could get lucky. And like I'm saying, man, I want good things for you. I don't want, like, you know what I'm saying? I would love for you to make a bag, but I don't. The last thing I want, and I talked about this literally the other day, I was just saying, man, if some of y'all are young, you're touching money. Don't let it slip through your fingers. And this is how that happens. This is how you make progress. You save, you get money. But remember, richest man of Babylon, bro. Like those fucking Phoenicians, bro. You know, you give your money. If you, the scoundrels, you could get scammed, bro. Even back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's just one of those things where if you don't follow the rules, you will pay. That's it. Because like I'm telling you, these are the rules of money. I don't think that's a real candle, but that's why I said, man, that's how everybody gets clapped. If we end like near break even, every premium is going to be washed. Then it will be a clearing day. But yeah, bro, it's like the rules, though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You're going to tell me you're going to invest in something that you don't really know about. Why? Because I guarantee you it's no older than 5 years, because Solana is not even that old. You see what I'm saying? Where did you hear about it? Are you expecting to turn a small amount into an impossible sum? You see what I'm saying? It's like, this isn't a plan. Like, when you really talk about some of these ideas, it's not, you're taking a lot of risk versus I'm going to save 10%. I'm going to go gradually, buy value month after month, and I'm going to go and look to invest in property one day. That's not an extravagant goal. So some of you will like this, some of you won't. But the point is, I want you to get crypto, but not just crypto. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want everybody hiding under that name crypto. It's just Bitcoin, and we'll get it at the right time, bro. And we'll get it at a good one. I wouldn't be afraid with even a small amount, and it's not gonna play a big amount. But at the end of the day, it's like you don't let the money slip by going in stuff that is not proven its value. I would rather be late than wrong. I want you to apply that to crypto. You know why? I bought Ethereum at $8. Go to the trading fraternity. I got hella videos. I told the Chad to buy Ethereum at around $200, $300 in 2020. So it was much higher. But even if you were late, you were much later than my first price. It was still, that was a good time. Do you see what I'm saying? Let these projects prove something to you. And by that, I mean enrich everybody for a long time. Jump on the bandwagon later. Don't be the guy on the front lines dying and putting your hard-earned money when you could put that to higher quality names for now. Bandwagon afterwards if you insist. But like I'm saying, safety, quality. Right now, like, think about, let me put it this way. Holy shit, gun lock, China, all the theories. Bro, what if we have a recession? You're going to hear a bunch of mother effers talking about that, right? You're going to have a bunch of mother recession, hard land. What about deflation? If we have any sort of deflationary circumstance, you will regret putting your money into dumb shit. Do you see what I'm saying? You will highly regret not having quality. Why? Because you're going to look back in a short amount of time and you're going to be like, damn, I could have got this much of this instead. Now that money that I let slip through, that could have been this. And that's why I'm saying you're much better off with a gradual plan and letting it prove some to you and getting it at the right time. But I've seen a lot of people getting lured by the sirens, bro. And I get it. Like I'm saying, I love that industry, but you want to stay alive. That's going to be more valuable than you could ever imagine if we get a real difficult environment. Do you guys understand? Like, if you actually get a recession, if you actually get a hard landing, do you not understand that it will be critical to stay alive? Not only will that be most important, but like, dude, you will have such an advantage if you are staying alive and not overexposed. You will be able to take advantage of certain opportunities. So that's why I'm saying it's like, I don't know what emotions now could hype me more than that opportunity. And that opportunity could be provided with a very safe, gradual, diversified approach that does, you know what I'm saying? We don't need to stretch anything, nothing impossible. We could go with what we know. And like I'm saying, let it move around and find these opportunities, but don't get tricked into parting with the money because, again, as we've been building up cash in the long term, that's going to be valuable, and it's going to go a long way, both now and in the future. Woo! Yeah, kind of bouncing. You're only down 3 on the 3.5 on the NASDAQ. SPY down 2.6. Long term. You got PBOC, you had China, PMIs. Oh, man. I love Nike now, but they're a big loser off of this. So I think Nike is going to go to $53. I think Nike at 52 to 50. I don't know if it will be the diamond, but I think that might be the diamond at that price. So I was looking at it. But they're a big loser off of Vietnam. But they're essentially, they need to take the death blow off of this, and then it will bottom out, even in the middle of fear, believe it or not. But it's still, they have a target on their fucking back, dude. Again, everything about their operation is just got really, really clapped with that. Yeah, Lulu as well. Oh, Memento more. Oh, and then Yuli. Oh, bro. I missed a lot of these, bro. 2 years ago, I was 23 with $50, no job. Now I'm married, 100K income, put in the work and keep it up no matter what, baby. Amen, man. I think that's testament, bro. A lot could change very quickly, but you guys got it. Like, trust me, take control. That's why don't let these opportunities slip through your hands. And if you think I'm talking about an opportunity, oh, you got to make this play. You got to be there. Oh, get FOMO. Oh, buy my course. No. I'm saying the opportunity that you have money now. It's what are you going to do with it? Are you going to handle it? Are you going to protect it? If you don't lose that money today and massive opportunity comes our way in the future, you will be prepared and you will execute on it. If you lose that money today to dumb shit, you won't. Very, very simple. Do you know what I'm saying? Y'all ready for this? Down, 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 down. Everybody tear. Oh, getting the real estate? Let's go, baby. Yeah. Amen. All right. What else we got, baby? I don't know. I think, like I'm saying, we got to see where Asia's at. Let's see how all of that closes. I think the cash open is going to be wicked. And then von der Leyen, EU, she's going to be talking before the market bell, I believe. No, wait. Shanghai Composites almost break even. Are you fucking kidding me? That's terrifying. Look at, because I don't know. Yeah, dude, Shanghai's going to do what we did this morning. Gaps down, and that'll be terrible if we do that. Yeah. It's going to be weird, man. Like I'm saying, with the non-farms, watch for winners and losers, watch for rotation, but I think it's still going to, this is already extreme, but many times you're extreme after hours only for that to change. Missed a lot. Don't worry, baby. You could come back. You go back, baby. Many places we hit hard can afford to not engage. I think this is going to be wild. So some places will, won't. Some places don't even matter. But I think today, Trump is all about the message, man. And that was a big message. I like I told you, man, you guys have heard me. That's why I love documenting all this. And even then, you guys were there live, dude, when it all came out. But I'm telling you, bro, this was a big amount. Even I'm shocked. I'm like, wow, he did it. Every time, bro. I don't know why it still surprises me. He says crazy shit, and then he actually does it. But, like, again, and it sounded so good at first. But then the way again, it's actually, and that's why I'm telling y'all, you guys are like, and aren't you glad you built up cash the last 3 months, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? This is historic. Like I'm saying, maybe it's all negotiation. It's all a high starting point. This either ends up really good, or this ends into a legitimately, like, full-blown changing of the whole entire global economy. This is your borderline. This is either going to be all theatrics for a trade deal, right? Literally, hear me out. It's all theatrics and everything's fine, whoop-de-doo, or you're borderline at what may be the lead up to your modern-day Bretton Woods, if that makes any sense. Like I'm telling, like, do you understand? Yeah, you are living through history, no matter what. That's why I'm telling you, I'm blown away, because I cannot deny some of these rates. Again, trading partners, certain amounts, those are key details. But no, man, like, this was a big shot. And when you compare it, it's like, whoa, he did it. And it wasn't just words. So that's why I'm like, all right, if it doesn't change from here, this is historically insanity. It's a huge, huge amount. But everyone's assuming it will change. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, man, welcome to history, baby. So that's why I'm saying, having a plan, keeping your money. Aren't you glad we held cash? It sucks. It's bittersweet, because now long-term will come down a little bit during the volatility. Some of your winners will go up, right? But now we have the cash. So, but yeah, I'm glad, though. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have me in your ear for the last, 3 months. We were getting ready for even Europe and the other stuff in China, but you didn't have me in the last 3 months. I said, if you have a lot of cash, you could start sniping. If you wanted to start, go with the value names that are down. But, yeah, bro, this is beautiful coming into it. It's beautiful. And then again, if it's like I told you guys the other day, you got to make up your decision, right? So don't get too excited just yet, because when it's all said and done, I told you like a week or two ago, what was it? I was saying a couple months from now, if you still hold cash and build, you're going to get a little mad if it rips. Otherwise, if we chop around or go down, you're going to love the cash. You remember I told you that? So today's a little appetizer in how that feels. So you still have time to make your decision, because it's the same price as last Thursday. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Go look at your long-term. Think about how you feel right now. But that's just literally what just happened. Because now you're like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I love the cash. Yeah, yeah, I fucking, yeah, this is, now I can, yeah, this is, yeah, But if we've ripped to all-time highs, you'd be like, why the fuck did I hold cash? Why was I so scared? Oh, my gosh, I can't believe. Why would I do that? I knew I should have bought it. And then you FOMO into the dumbest stock you could find. I've been there. It's my life story, autobiography. So, yeah. Intel might end up being a winner. I'm shocked, though. Everybody got some of the smoke today. But I think the winners, for now, I think Australia, Canada, and Mexico. Ireland as well. Those are clear-cut winners for now. But we'll see what they say. And then, again, I think some material stuff, that'll get affected. But we will find out. Is my name Josh? That's what they call me. Coco? I haven't looked at Coco. Josh, you couldn't keep my badge? Oh, yeah, you can, man. Look at it. It says you've been here 3 years. Let's go, baby. I appreciate you, man, and thank y'all. Thank you for those who listen, though, and I hope it's reflected in knowledge and in a long-term and in good performance. You know what I'm saying, bro? This is fun. I love this shit. like I said, man, and all of you are unbanned. You should be, and I hope you make the most of it. But it's a good time, man, and we got a great community, and there's gonna be great opportunity. But if you selective listen, this shit will hurt you. If you really listen, stick to a budget. This is a good use of your time. So I'm honored for those of you who are evidence of that, man. And I encourage you all to lock in and get a long term. Oh, yeah. What else we got? What else we got, baby? What the other questions on? Thank you. But get a long term. You want to be evidence one day? That sounds like I'm going to kill you, but I feel you. You know? And you will be. You will be. But it's easy, man. That's like, it really is. I'm telling you, it's easy but hard. It's 10%. That's all you need to do. Little by little. Wait, what is that? Hold on. I have a really weird sound. The fuck is that? You guys don't hear that? Okay. Hold on. Is it a Shanghai Open? You guys can watch this. This is Shanghai. That was weird. Well, they seem calm. So, yeah, you're chill, I guess. Woo! Red is red. Well, even then, though, 4% is big. That's why I'm surprised that by the time when we started this stream an hour ago, it was still down 4, but China gapped down and then is already at like break even. And I think there's going to be a couple more openings here. And then again, Australia, wait for Europe. But this is already out of expectations for now. But we'll see. That green tick is just the E-Trade being E-Trade. Oh, yeah. Oh, but that's the thing. That's the other point. Here's the deal, though. And this is where you got to, like, kind of be careful because I don't think people are really, like, acknowledging this. There's something really big about what's happening. Let me ask you this. SPY futures are down 4%. Do you think NASDAQ futures are almost? Do you think Donald Trump is happy about this? Oh, no, he's happy. He's pissed. He doesn't care. Yeah. Wants lower rates. Only if he cuts. I love the power. It's so funny. I feel like I control them like Pinocchio. I pull the strings. I love it. I love it. So yeah. I think he likes today, actually. Why? Because goals are getting closer, at least what they want. Him and Bassett and Lutnick. So you could, the lowering of deficit or making more money, that's one thing. But as a result of what just was announced, oil down almost 3%, bonds, they briefly hit another new low of the year, new low on yields, high on TLT. What do you think about that? See, that's a success for Donald Trump, unfortunately. That's why I said eventually if the market goes up with that, great. But if the market suffers at a cost of that, that's one thing. Because did you guys hear the Scott Bessent quote? He said the Mag 7 peaked with DeepSeek. He said that's a Mag 7 problem, not a MAGA problem. Hardest bar ever, bro. I'm telling you, it's insane. So, yeah, it's insane, bro. But that's why it's kind of like, damn, that's the part that sucks about this, because whatever just happened today, net futures are down, global uncertainty, everyone's tripping out. It's just, again, crazy numbers, way higher than expected. Again, people, that's the funny part. When it's all said and done, people had a bad expectation for today, but they couldn't even expect what happened, because what they expected came in lower, but the way they did this weird blending thing and then the reciprocal, that was way higher. But it's just like, dude, all of this shit, man, the part that sucks is that bonds, oil, these are moving how the administration wants. So, yeah. Ta-da. Dude, I even think China might be higher. He didn't even say anything about Venezuela. So it's 36, 37 plus the additional 20. It's literally 50%. And then we don't even know if it's damn Venezuela too. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm shocked, but in a weird way, I will tell you right now, I'm more, and you should be too. This is why I'm like, I think a lot of people are just, they're reacting to what they understand, but it's, dude, like Malaysia, Cambodia, Indonesia, who else? There's one more of the all the East Asian countries. That was the big one, bro. Taiwan, that right there blew my mind. Those are insane. Cause like let's see if we can get the list up. Yeah, hit me up with a Wikipedia. You could also ask Grok. No, we want deficit. But yeah, so European Union, your biggest deficit, again, even imports-wise. So we get a ton from that was big, right? But this is the part that I'm saying. You guys got to realize there is a huge difference in today. Let me put it this way. If today already has like historical shit, right? What would have happened if Mexico was involved? Y'all don't feel me. No, this isn't like I'm just looking at the largest trading partners of the U.S. I'm just looking at imports, exports. Again, the data you should be looking at when it comes to this topic. But like I'm saying, we import a lot from European Union. That was big today. But now look at Mexico, though. That's a big one. China, that's big, but then Canada. So do you not see what he did? This right there, this is where a majority of everything is coming from. That's the thing. But then all the other outs. So you see how this number says 438? Yeah, that's add 352. Then add 136. Then add 116. Add 52. Then add 43. You see what I'm saying? That, because it's all China practically. Those economies, that's what they're built around. Again, it's like they all revolve around the sun. It's like the East Asian solar system. So, but do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's the rates are high. And I'm like, wow, some of it's history, but there's some trading partners affected more and not. And then this is where we're all looking at it, and we're like, okay, it's like, damn. So today was big, and he sent really big shots at some of the big guys. But, dude, you are so lucky Mexico and Canada got out of this for everybody, because that's why I'm like, that's the silver lining. But everybody's too caught up with some of these numbers, but the Vietnam and the other ones, that surprised me more than anything because now it's high rates. He's targeting all the other outs. He has good partners on the table, and then now the incentives are changing with it, but just absolutely wild, man. That's why I'm excited to see what we get and think about it. The market will move, especially tomorrow, the next couple days. I feel like the market's going to be really sensitive to trade negotiation headlines. So we will see. Yeah, a lot of imports come from EU and Germany. And again, these numbers change around. You know, Canada and Mexico, we didn't used to import from them like we do now. And we got way more from China. But things change, and that's like the whole idea is that these policies might change things. But again, too, if you're worried about this, like I think this was historically something we have never seen before. I'm telling you, I'm not denying that, and I think you should pay attention to it. But there's still a lot more we got to see in at least Canada and Mexico for now. That's almost another, $1 trillion of imports that I think is very, very valuable. And that right there might be the difference between this gets really, really bad or this isn't that bad, if that makes any sense, you know. So in a weird way, I would argue we're still kind of hinging on Mexico and Canada and then whoever caves or not. I don't know. You guys are saying China. You guys are saying China was ripping, but I didn't know if they, how you say, folded per se. Oh, I don't know. There's China PMI numbers, I think, earlier. Just a pop ad open. What's that on the wire? China urges U.S. to revoke unilateral tariff measures. China ministry urges U.S. to work with trading partners to resolve differences through dialogue. More to follow. All right, is this China's reaction? I think it might be, bro. Might be the first signs of it. I don't know if that sounds like folding. I think it's TikTok deal, bro. That's what I'm saying, though. He came in so hard today. I think he really wants TikTok. Otherwise, now, if they don't do a TikTok deal, we're talking 50 to 70% tariffs now. It's actually insane. That's not the full one. This is just the commerce minister. And again, it seems like this is just initial comments coming out. So that's what I'm saying, though. You guys got to get this. All day tomorrow is going to be this dynamic. You're going to hear from von der Leyen, from Ford, Scheinbaugh, all around the world. We're going to play this, and we'll see. And get ready, though. Like this in 2018, things would get really bad, and then the market would rip when they were like, yeah, we're doing a trade deal. You guys don't remember that? During the first trade war and tariffs was a scary word, but then the two words, trade deal, that was a bullish catalyst word. You guys remember that? You remember the first time you were exposed to a trade deal? Market loved it. So eventually, one of these updates now, that's at least the only bright spot you could look forward to. Eventually, you'll get a trade deal, and then we will see. If I told you global trade hinges on TikTok 4 years ago, my mind would have been blown. I know, man. It'd be like even like the kids dancing on the apps. I'm not buying it. I don't know. All right, Chad. I think that's it. I think it's game time. Rest easy. I hope. Pray for me. I hope I get a good rest and voice. And then we'll be beautifully calm tomorrow. And we will navigate the waters. Japan Trade Minister Muto shares strong concerns whether U.S. tariff measures in line with WTO agreement will establish task force to provide info and grasp the impact will ask if strongly to exempt Japan from tariff measures. Need to analyze content and examine impact on Japan economy. Told counterpart new tariff announcement extremely regrettable. Told U.S. Secretary new tariffs would bring negative impact on U.S. economy as well. Held online meeting with U.S. Commerce Secretary. That's coming out now. So, yeah, Japan, that's bad. Japan is even like, well, we're going to go to the WTO. Everybody's pissed, bro. Yeah, you're going to have hours of Asia in all of these headlines. So, I wish I could stay with you, but I need to go eat food. I need to go to bed. But, Chad, I love you. Thank you for your time. God willing, we keep hitting, baby. But stay locked in. A little bit more preparation, baby. A little bit more rest, too. You know what I'm saying? That contradiction. But welcome to history. And welcome to the beginning. Where there's a lot. And like we said, man, my day 365, you're going to see a lot more. So lock in, baby. I love you all. Have a good night. And don't ever forget, you are blessed. You are a human. You are special. You are here for a reason. And there is always a reason why we show up here, baby. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory. And through the grace of God alone. Have a wonderful evening. And Horna.